Chef Justin here with Fresh from Florida, and today we are continuing our back to school theme. We've got a wonderful recipe. We are making Florida vegetable meatballs. So basically we are adding some great Florida veggies to these wonderful meatball recipes, and they are going to be delicious for adults and children alike. So let's start cooking. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take my panko breadcrumbs and my milk, and I want these to soak a little bit, soak up this moisture, and then when we add these to our meatball mix, it's gonna make them nice and tender. So we'll just set this to the side. Now the next thing we wanna do is go ahead and shred and grate our Florida vegetables. We're simply just gonna use this small side of the box grater to grate these vegetables. We wanna be very careful with our fingers. And you can see this gives a nice shred, and that's gonna be perfect in our meatballs. We're gonna get our nice grated yellow squash here. Now we're gonna add this to our beef mix as well. In this one, we're using yellow squash and zucchini, carrot, maybe a little mushroom, but use what you have, use what you love, and use what is in season. Okay, let's get these mushrooms cut up. And these, we're just gonna rough chop them initially to get them down, and then we can go through with our knife and get them into nice small pieces. So let's go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. We've got our breadcrumbs that have been soaking in a little bit of milk. Those are going in. We've also got a bunch of grated Parmesan cheese, gonna give it some great flavor and help it stick together. A couple eggs that are gonna also act as a binder. And then of course, I've got my favorite all-purpose seasoning here that's going in, as well as a little fresh salt and freshly ground black pepper. I'm gonna put on my gloves and start rolling out our meatballs. Okay, so everything's mixed well. We're gonna try to roll these meatballs. We wanna get about the same amount in each one, just like that, nice and easy. You can make them a little bigger or a little smaller, depending. Now you do have to take into account the larger the meatball, the longer it's gonna take to cook. Okay, now that we've got a good sear on these, we can get them into the oven. Just gonna add a little bit of fresh herb here. And this whole pan is oven ready, and the whole thing can go in the oven until they finish cooking and are completely done throughout. Okay, our meatballs are out of the oven. They smell and look delicious, and they are ready to be served from here. I'm just gonna garnish with a little bit of fresh Parmesan cheese on here. Okay, so we have finished our meatball recipe, and not only that, but we wanted to show you how incredibly versatile these meatballs are. We made a large batch of this recipe so we can continue to use it throughout the week to make it stretch. And we also made several other dishes with it, right? So not only do we have our meatballs fresh out of the oven with a little fresh Parmesan cheese on top, but we also made a little bit of meatball salad with arugula and some Florida cucumber and peppers. And of course, who doesn't like spaghetti and meatballs? This is sure to be a crowd pleaser and one of my favorites, right? Our meatball sub, we put it on some wonderful French bread with a little bit of Munster cheese and sauce. These are all great recipes that you can utilize this one recipe with. So make sure you check out this at followfreshfromflorida.com. Help support our hardworking farmers, fishermen, and ranchers, and make sure you're on the lookout for our new launch of the Fresh from Florida Club. There's going to be all kinds of great features on there, including extra bonus recipes and video content, so make sure you guys check it out. In the meantime, keep cooking, and we'll see you next time. If you like this recipe, head on over to our website where you can sign up for the Fresh from Florida Club.